Welcome back to We Got Goosebumps, a podcast dedicated to the landmark horror series for children, not the other word, which is offensive in many cultures, which were written by R.L. Stine back in the 90s. I'm your tour guide, and I will leave you here if you're not back to the bus on time. Dylan.
Oh, Dylan, I'm your stepdad and part-time street sorcerer. I'm Travis. Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm concerned about this podcast. It's a book that takes place in England, and there's a significant number of readings I've noticed for this episode, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of terrible accents done by you and me, and in addition, a complete lack of consistency. If you guys wanted to hear every UK accent, you're going to hear them all today as we attempt to do like one good English accent.
Full spectrum.
We're going to go to Wales, Ireland, Scotland.
You know, I'm going to fall into Australian at some point. It always happens. Oh, yeah. Can't help myself.
I did most of last episode in a terrible Australian accent because I was trying to do a British accent. So, but today we're talking about number 27 in the series, A Night in Terror Tower, which is not a fun night. You get smothered. Pretty brutal, by the way. That's a choice of death. A smothering by pillows, especially. I feel like the planning on that was not really a plan. They made it sound like the executioners just like, guys, we have this well thought out plan. This sounds like something Dave came up with on the stairwell when they realized they forgot their axes and stuff. And it's just like, guys, change of plan. We're going to smother them with pillows. Traditional English execution. Pillow smothering. Yeah. This book was released in January of 1995. I believe that is the longest I've made that sentence last.
New record here at 27. Very cool. Yeah. No,
you just have fire. Just go back and listen to all of them.
Time them. Give you a nice distribution chart. See the bell curve.
That's what we really need. Yeah.
You just, the pillow thing. I realize it's a children's book, but it wasn't until just now that you made me remember. Weren't they going to take them out into the town square and execute them? It'd be funny to do that with pillows.
Yeah, because I think they were up there to be beheaded at some point, but they didn't want to wait, so they smothered them instead, which I feel like is basically what happened to the two princes that were in the Tower of London. They got smothered or something. I forget. The British are crazy, and they hate their leaders, but they love them too. It's so weird. I don't get it.
Bit of trivia about this, where the story came from, that I think you're touching on. We can go ahead and read it now. The premise of two heirs in the English throne mysteriously vanishing is actually based on true events. In 1483, Richard III placed his two nephews, Edward V and Richard, Duke of York, in the Tower of London, and they were never seen again. It is not known what happened to the two young princes, but most rumors say they were killed. So there you go. Look at you. Knowing stuff about things, man. Very cool.
I think it's just because I saw it in that adaptation of Richard III with Ian McClellan. And it's kind of like an alternate history, fascist England, but Richard III. It's a good flick. I recommend checking it out. Yeah.
Very cool. I don't suspect we have too much of a personal tie into the story, but I'm wondering if you ever...
Oh, I've smothered many children.
I thought maybe. That's where I was going with that. I was also going to ask if as a kid or at any point you'd ever become separated from a group, and that was stressful.
No.
No?
No, sorry.
I feel like I have been, but nothing comes to mind. I mean, there have been times where I've been with somebody and turned around and they were gone, and then they weren't gone. But it's just that split second of, okay. I can conjure the feeling inside of turning around and seeing the people I entered with not there for a second, but, I can't think of a specific instance because I'm a piece of shit. What's Jacobus doing on these covers? Huh?
He did all of them this time?
Nah, just this first one here. Just the 1995 one and the 2004 one, if you care. It's the same one. But we got a hairy guy walking down some stairs. Looks like Santa Claus if he were cosplaying as Link. I mean, it fits. It's scary. I mean, it's imposing.
He's very hairy.
So hairy. So much hair.
Blonde hairy.
Yeah, you don't see that often.
No, you don't.
Is that common in London? Is that the demographic we're dealing with here?
I don't know. I feel because of all like the island nation, there's probably a lot of inbreeding. I'm just gonna piss. I mean, let's be honest. Anyone who's been listening to this podcast probably already thinks I hate the entire United Kingdom based on the covers.
You're an Anglophobe.
I'm really looking forward to 2 more from now, I think. But yeah, this doesn't look at all like how he's described in the book, right? I pictured like Vincent Price in like the Witchfinder General or something, not like.
I kind of pictured like Van Helsing.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, that.
But I guess this is a more traditional like executioner look. Like if someone told me to draw an executioner, I would do this. But if I were going to draw the guy from the book, I would have done more of a Van Helsing.
Yeah, this looks like a Monsters in My Pocket also. Like I could totally see this guy made out of a neon colored plastic rubber.
Oh, if you go to the wiki and you scroll down, very rarely do they have like a toy section, but this one did. He had a figure, he had a little castle, little tower that you could get with him. Oh. Like all kinds of little doodads. It actually looked pretty cool. I don't know if you could. I mean, I've never once saw a Goosebumps toy for sale in my life, but I thought that was cool.
I don't know. It's just not. It's kind of the same problem that I think we've had with a lot of covers this season, where it's just not that spooky. You know, it's not a very scary cover. No.
Nah, too much sunshine.
It's well rendered. Look at the stonework. Just beautiful stonework.
It is good. And I guess now we had some trivia, but it's more appropriate if I bring it up now in that, let's see, according to Tim Jacobus, this was one of his least favorite covers due to it being rushed. Due to time constraints, Jacobus had to finish the work in one 30-hour session. However, yeah, I know, it's crazy. Like 30 hours was rushed for Jacobus. This guy puts in the work. He says, however, he doesn't think anyone else would notice how rushed the work was. So even he's like, it's not my favorite because I had to rush it, but no one can probably tell because I'm so good.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said no. Yeah. Although now that he said that, dog shit. Let's see the next one.
Right? Yeah, let's see what Brandon Dorman did with it in 2009 in the old re-release. I kind of like the look a little bit better. Sort of the burlap head sack is kind of neat, but the guy doesn't really look like a human being. He looks kind of like a pop figure gone wrong.
Yeah. It looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man as like an executioner. Yeah, it's a I don't know, it's even further off the mark. I feel like this, I don't know. This is whew.
And neither of us ever like how much text they put on these versions.
Yeah. Yeah, now with bonus features and the original series from the Master of Fright. Yeah, there's a little bit too much going on here. But again, not the character from the book. It feels like this artist didn't read anything about what the book was about and just looked at Jacobus's character or cover and just decided, I'll do that, but in my style. It's like, could you have just, I don't know, skimmed the book? This isn't the bad guy.
Because he's walking into like fire or something.
I don't.
It's weird. I guess they did kind of change the ambiance from like day to night. I think that is my problem with the cover or the Jacobus one, is that it's just kind of bright and sunny, like you said. If it were more like dark and foreboding with the same dude on the cover, I think it works better. But this is just weird. Dorman, I don't know. What are you doing? What are you doing out there? Come on, pay attention. Read your books, bud. Okay, come on.
Dorman, more like Dormouse.
Yeah, speaking of Dormouse.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
Is the UK next?
Yep. Yeah, let's see what London does with a story that takes place in their own town.
I mean, I guess I can't fault them for... It's just fucking ugly.
It is ugly.
It's just ugly. Also, really small. This is a really...
Yeah, I think the quality of the image we got might be.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not the excuse for this. I don't know. It's just.
So we got hands coming up out of poopy grape jelly. It is.
Yeah.
That's the worst goo we've had in a while. And
it just looks gross. Not gross. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it's confusing because they're trying to replicate, I think, one part of the book that ended up being a bit of a fraud, but like hands extending from cell bars, but they would be extending out, not upward. This looks like someone drowning in under a street vent.
Yeah, it's like someone trapped in a storm grate.
Storm drain, that's the word I'm looking for there, yeah. Yeah, and with a random little rat. I remember the rats took up about a paragraph of the book. Glad they got to make the cover.
That's true. But the scary thing about that was not one rat.
Right.
It was the thousands of rats, not one rat being kind of sassy and be like, I think you're going to drown in grape jelly. Ha. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting from this rat. Like, you're going to drown and I'm not.
Yeah. And if the picture's even tilted to show that the hands are coming out of the bars, the rat would not be able to sit a perch to the bars because gravity would make it slide down. I hate it. I hate the physics. I hate the brownness in the front. Looks like duty.
We're gonna X out. We're gonna X out. Holy shit!
And then France comes in hot. I'd say the French, sometimes they'll get it, bud.
Although, okay, so at first I was like, oh man, the executioner is super badass on this one. He looks like, I don't know, some fucking. But then all the rats are behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember the book, the rats chase the bad guy away.
So he's, in theory, afraid right now.
So really, the cover is showing him running in terror from 10 rats, looking like, oh, shit. He's like, buddy, if you have something with the business end, and you're just running. And his eyes are all wide. He's just like, ah. Also, his outfit looks very much like Link's also.
Mm-hmm.
Even more like adult Link, maybe.
It really does. Just bizarre.
This book really flummoxed a couple of artists here.
Yeah, it did. And to your point from earlier, and I thought about this when I saw these, how often are they just putting their own spin on Jacobus's? Are these people really taking the time to read this children's book? Are they just getting a commission to draw something like, well, what did Jacobus do? Yeah, I get close to that. I'll just do that.
All right. I'm holding out hope here. What's the next one?
Korea has their own take on this, and I like it. I think it's the closest to the dude.
The book.
Yep. I think it's actually the dude.
Way zoomed in.
But the art style is I would say, I mean, it's sort of on brand for Korea making you go whoa when you first see it, but it is unique even for their usual. Like it's tricolor, maybe 4 colors they're using, minimal colors.
This kind of looks like an old horror comic from the 50s. You know, like eerie comics, like that kind of cover, like where it's just kind of bizarre villain on the front and very simple colors. Yeah, I think it is only like three colors.
Yeah, and I like the big hat,
green and yellow. Yeah,
they talk about the big hat and the big wispy, capey coat thing.
I think those are furs. Like I think that's like a really
maybe
furred up. Like that's a shit. That's
pelt?
A bear pelt. Yeah.
Yeah. I do like, for some reason, they could have made him do anything, but they just have him leaning up on a tree. He could be holding a weapon. Yeah, I don't know what he's saying.
Hold on, let me see if I can get old Google Translate to do its thing here.
Yeah, because there's a speech bubble coming off of our guy here, and he's got...
I swear to God, if it's just like, check out the Goosebumps TV show on ABC.
Oh, that would ruin it. That would definitely ruin it. But yeah, he's got one sort of normal eye and one red eye, like he's squinting straining so hard he's got one eye popping out, making a strained face. I'm kind of vamping for you.
He says, "Not for the faint of heart."
Okay.
So he's actually giving a warning to the reader.
Okay, all right. I'm not too mad about that.
Apparently this was number. Obviously that's in English, but 30.
Number 30 for them, yeah.
The illustrator is Aram Lee.
Oh, good to know. Well, Korea, I'm going to give it to Korea, and I'm going to let France enjoy a runner-up. Jacobus, I love you, bud, but there's just more interesting ones abroad, I think.
Oh yeah, this wasn't. this wasn't a strong one across the board.
No, but I tell you, don't judge a book by its cover. At least not for my sake. I had some good fun with the book. So why don't we jump into some plot?
So we got Sue. Oh, and this is chapter 1.
Sure.
I guess we'll start off properly for once. This is chapter 1. We start off with our 2 characters. Sue, who's telling the story. She's 12. And Eddie, her 10-year-old brother, who is a bit of a chicken shit, is what we find out. So they're in London because their parents are here at for work, I'm assuming, because they're at a work meeting all day. And so their parents are just like, yeah, you know what? Take a tour guide, a tour guide. Go on a tour by yourselves through London and have a good old time. And so these 2 children just get on a tour. I believe it's Mr. Starks is the one who's pointing out everything. He's got some great jokes. I hope you're gonna read several of his jokes because he has burger quality jokes up and down the board. But they've seen a couple of things so far that they liked. I think they said they went to Harrods and who knows, a bunch of other shit too. Great time. But now they're going to get to London's Terror Tower, which is kind of like the Tower of London, but lesser known and off the beaten path a little bit. But it's for people that don't want to like do what everybody else does, to really experience a country and just like take in the local color rather than just seeing the same stuff that everyone has seen before. Anyway, so Terror Tower is a bunch of people that kept like were kept there and imprisoned and tortured, and it's all spooky, and now it's a tourist attraction. Yay! Eddie wanted to go, but Eddie's also nervous about going, and so Sue's just like, Eddie, what the fuck is your problem? You're the one who wanted to do this? Okay, fine. Because they even have the choice at one point of being like, hey, do you guys want to see another store? Or do you want to go, or do you want to see another museum? Or do you want to see the Terror Tower? And Eddie's like, oh, Terror Tower! Now he's upset. But as they're going into the tower, there's this kind of cool thing where they park and they're walking in to where the actual tower is, and she says as they're going in there they pass like a Roman wall that's been around there for like almost 2,000 years. It was a year 400 was built, and as they get deeper into this kind of complex of old buildings, they can't see anything that's like outside of this time frame, so it almost looks like they're back time, which foreshadowing. Bum, bum, bum. Not the end of the chapter, but it's anyway. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It used to be like a fort for that was built by the Romans, but then it be turned into a debtor prison. And Mr. Starks, who's the tour guide, who's bald and he's probably British. I would love it if it was just some random American guy, but whatever. And he's taking them up these long, narrow steps. They're going up to the top of the tower, and there's like 10 other people along with Sue and Eddie checking things out. And then, as they're headed up into the tower, Mr. Stark says, "Got some real bad news for ya. You're gonna be in prison. Chip, chip, try. Bum, bum, bum." Oh yeah, it's starting early. We're just straight into the terrible accents. I mean, we're gonna have
your British guy face. You got British.
Oh, my British guy, British. The angry British chipmunk. Just chip, chip, try.
So many teeth. You grew extra teeth for tonight. I love that. No, just a little tower joke, he said, and everyone laughed except for Eddie. Eddie didn't think it was funny. Eddie was like, Jesus, fuck. I think he even says that in the book. I think Eddie goes, Jesus, fuck. This guy is crazy.
Yeah, it's little known trivia. It's the only Goosebumps book with profanity.
Yeah, British profanity.
Yes, the oft British swear, Jesus, fuck.
Arse me pancakes. I don't know what they say.
Arse me pancakes is another common one, yes. Common Cockney rhyming slang for pass me the pancakes.
Ah, of course, yeah. Pancakes me arse. And people pass you pancakes. I love it. I think we're experts. But there's a guy then in an executioner outfit and a giant axe, and he comes up behind Mr. Starks, and Eddie's looking at this, Eddie and Sue, and Starks is jokes that, oh, don't worry about him. That's the castle barber. That's the barber there. So
Australian.
Starks has got some jokes. Yeah,
By
it's
the way,
going to get
if
there.
you guys
I told you
would
it's going
like
to
to
get there.
write in and tell us where accents really come from, please don't.
Yeah.
Just let us have our fun.
Good day there, mate. I could probably just do that for the rest of the show because
We know we're not even on the right continent. Just let us have our fun.
that is important. Let us have our fun. Get your own podcast if you want to have fun.
Yeah,
This
go
is
fuck
between
yourselves. Jesus, fuck.
Easy. I didn't mean that. I was just okay. But then next, this is part of the castle tour, man. We're visiting all this stuff. Next, we got to go to see that torture chamber. That was actually first on the list. It was like, welcome to the castle. First, we're going to hit the torture chamber. And so he warns them. He goes, all right, young chaps, you can get lost. That's going to be Australian. I know no other way. There's lots of chambers down here, and you could get lost. And the kids, they're like, man, I wonder if this here prison be haunted, yo. And then they're like, oh, that's silly. We're too early in a Goosebumps book to be positing theories about how it might go later. And then they're at a dark entrance to the tower there. And Sue, she has Eddie turn for a picture. Now, you can tell this is where I was like, oh, maybe the pictures become haunted in this here book. He has Eddie turn for a picture, so I wrote that down. And then she goes, little did I know, it would be the last picture I would ever take of Eddie. Oh, fuck. Bum, bum, bum.
Nothing really comes of that. That's a cliffhanger with no payoff. Because it's kind of hard to be like, that is the last picture I would ever take of Eddie. And then the next chapter continues on with business as normal, with her not taking pictures of Eddie. But then Mr. Stark shows him a torture rack, and you know what? I'm just going to let Mr. Starks tell us about the torture rack in his own words and his own accent. And you know what? I'm going to say that Travis, I'm going to do like this is kind of like, it's just south of Sheffield, which is kind of north, like part of the North Country. So you got kind of like, it's kind of got a rich roar. So, but just south, kind of actually in a little village of Shropshire, which is just south of Sheffield. That's where this accent comes from Mr. Starks. I hope our UK listener, if they're still listening, appreciates my research for this.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'm actually going to mute myself and practice my accent while you do your section here.
Okay, yeah. So this is, the Shropshire. This is the rock, he proclaimed, waving his red pennant at. Ooh, that is just a bad combination of syllables. Waving his red pennant at it. Waving his red pennant at it. Wow, it's real. Yeah, you just fucking edit that together. You're good luck with that.
It's almost easier to say, but it's like waving his red pennant at it.
Oh, yeah. This is the rock, he proclaimed, waving his red pennant at it. Yeah, you're right. That's really easy to say in that stupid voice. Wow, it's real, I whispered to Eddie. I'd seen big torture devices like this in the movies and comic books, but I never thought they really existed. Fun fact, Iron Maiden is not a real torture device and was actually invented for, in the 19th century. There's, these they're kind of like museums, but not really researched, and they would do things like make up torture devices like the Iron Maiden. So the Iron Maiden dates back to, some Victorian curio shop in the 1870, not medieval times. I'm so sorry, Travis, for ruining everything. Anyway.
Okay.
The prisoner was forced to lie down here, Mr. Starks continued. His arms and legs were strapped down. When that big wheel was turned, the ropes pulled his arms and legs, stretching them tight. He pointed to the big... Sorry. I hope you appreciate the expressions I'm making as I'm being British.
It's all about the expressions, because I can't hear a fucking word you're saying.
If you don't look like a madman trying to fuck a chipmunk, then you're not doing a British accent right. What the fuck was I? He pointed to the big wooden wheel. Turn the wheel more, and the ropes pull tighter, Mr. Stark said, his eyes twinkling merrily. Sometimes the wheel was turned and the prisoner was stretched and stretched until his bones were pulled right out of the sockets. He chuckled. I believe that is what's called doing a long stretch in prison. Some of the group members laughed at Mr. Stark's jokes, but Eddie and I exchanged solemn glances, staring at the long wooden contraption with its thick ropes and straps. I pictured someone lying there, imagined the creak of the wheel turning, and the ropes pulling tighter and tighter. But then, because Sue's in a good frame of mind, I guess, right now, she sees a man in a long black cape and a dark hat staring at them suspiciously. Just watching them over this rack, not taking in Mr. Stark's beautiful portrayal of English history, but instead just staring straight at two children. Never a good sign. Sue is pretty sure he's not part of their tour group. Eddie concurs that the man wearing a long black cape and hat is not in their tour group. So they're just like, all right, so this guy's he's just gonna take keep looking at us. Before they move on, Sue's like, you know what? I'd like to take a picture of this rack. It'd be great to show my parents. Be like, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could put Eddie in here when he's not doing so good with his homework? And then everyone would think it's hilarious. So she goes for a camera, which children back in the day used to be separate from your phone. But her camera is missing. And this is where I thought this was kind of a goofy payoff for the cliffhanger last time, where she's like, this is going to be the last picture she ever takes of Eddie. And then at the end of this chapter, oh, her camera's missing. So it's not because Eddie dies or whatever. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, not because Eddie. I thought it was. I was like, oh, this is how we're doing the sequel for Say Cheese and Die. It's not. But what a twist that would have been. Can you imagine? This book gets started, and then all of a sudden it turns into a sequel to Say Cheese and Die. My God, the amount of joy I would feel. But nope, it's
what
just.
If, oh shit! The camera was actually invented.
Oh no, he just fucking spackled his own ass.
Oh, in the past.
It's the same camera. And it gets, and Spider was from the past, and he kept the camera and he locked it away.
He finds it back in 19 whatever the fuck. Oh my.
We've done it. We've done it.
Anyway, but that's not what actually happens.
No, actually, Eddie stole it from her. And Eddie, he's a little kleptomaniac, this little rascal. He's a fucking rascal, dude. He fucking takes this camera out of his sister's pocket, and he thinks he's the greatest pickpocket. Actually, pickpocketing is his hobby. That is what he does. Now, it's a gateway to crime, you know.
It is
before
a crime.
You know it.
It's not a gateway to crime.
Why'd I say that? You're right.
Itself is a crime. And this is what I keep telling you every time we go to MagFest, Travis, because you just walk out of there with a bag of wallets.
I don't pick pockets. I just put my hand in there and pick around with my finger. You know what I mean? More of a... Well, I still call it pickpocketing, but it's a different thing altogether.
Yeah,
it's not pickpocketing if you sniff your finger after. Yeah. I've been told that.
You're not... Oof. All right, just fucking do your chapter.
Well, anyway, he's good at it. He says he's the fastest hands on earth. And Sue's like, you obnoxious little fuck. He does this shit all the time. But anyway, they leave, and they look back, and this man's still following them. And at this point, I'm getting like a vibe like he's like the Strider when he first walks into the inn there with the hobbits. It kind of got that creepy, like he's watching you from the corner. He's kind of dressed in dark, kind of feels like that to me. And he's got his face hidden under the wide brim of a hat, kind of shadowed his face there, and Meanwhile, Stark's not really paying attention to this evil lurker in the corner who clearly didn't pay for the tour. I mean, he's not even welcome, I wouldn't think. But anyway, Stark sees he's showing them other torture devices. Shows them thumb screws. Demonstrates thumb screws, which I thought was interesting. Just things they put your thumbs in, and you slides down over your thumb, and then you twist it or something, and it digs into your thumb when you twist it. You keep turning it, it digs deeper, and it hurts. It doesn't feel good.
It's literally a screw that goes into your thumb.
Yeah. This guy's wild. Not the same thing as a thumb tack. Those are tacks that go into your thumb.
Jesus.
Okay. Now, Mr. Starks is like, very nasty. Actually, he says it like this. He's like, very nasty. Wouldn't dare mess with one of those children. This whole room is full of very nasty items. Very nasty. And then Eddie's like, oh, man, I can't. Low moans. R.L. Stein filled this book with low moans. Eddie's like, oh, I don't want to. So then Sue just goes rogue, figures, oh, I guess we're just all picking up torture devices, picks up a pair of metal handcuffs. She reaches across a barrier for them, picks up a pair of old metal handcuffs, and demonstrates how the jagged spikes on the cuffs could hurt someone, puts them over her arms to kind of show Eddie, goofing around, then all of a sudden, click! Uh-oh, fuck! They click shut, she screams, they're cutting her, digging into her, she can't get them off. Uh-oh, bang, 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 bum, bum, bum.
I like how they don't really explain what she does at all. She just, like, pops them off, and she's like, go fuck yourself, Eddie. Because it's just like, I guess that her wrists are too small, because she just, like, slides them off her hand after she locks them down. And Eddie's, like, really upset, and he's crying because he thinks his sister's maimed, and blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Sue's happy. He's crying. But then they're going to head up to the North Tower, up these narrow, very steep stairs. And this is where, like, all the cool political prisoners were kept. And then they would end up being beheaded the next day, so it was less cool than you might think. But Sue is just like, man, this tower seems like super fucking familiar. Like, did I see this tower in a movie or whatever? But then they get to a room where a young prince and princess are brought in the early 15th century. Edward and Susanna of York, or Eddie and Sue for short, of York. And an executioner, though, they don't like to behead children because their tiny little noggins probably like roll away and get under carts and things, and they're just like, God damn it, where's that small child's head? Gary, is it under your bread cart? Oh, God damn it, that's where it is. Hold on, let me get that old little skull out from under there. So anyway, so instead of having to deal with that, which is a big hassle.
Sure,
they're going to smother these children.
Why'd I laugh? That's terrible. That's the worst thing you could do to one. That's worse than beheading. Just behead it.
Oh, God, it's so easy, though. Anyway.
Can't believe it.
And this is the plan to keep the children from taking the throne. Just a couple pillows or the breathing ports, and problem solved. Mr. Starks is telling us these fun little stories, and Sue wants to take a picture of the whole awful bedroom of smothering, but as a result drops her camera, breaks the lens, and miss what Stark says next, which is funny because maybe I don't know. Did things change? Did they not change? We'll never know. Anyway, Sue, she's pretty bummed out about these children who got smothered in the middle of the night. Jesus Christ. And she's just like, I wonder what these kids experienced. Then she turns around and sees that Starks and the tour group are they're gone. All gone. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh, no. And for a second, they try to be rational. They figure old Starks... They figured old Starks led the group back down in a hurry. Maybe the tour, maybe it's nearing time. It's supposed to end at 5. It's actually 5:20. Maybe he's just in a rush. and he just didn't do a head count, and so they hurried down, not wanting to get locked in, hurrying down out of the tower. And Eddie's panicking. Oh, Sue, what are we going to do? We're late. Oh. And Sue's like, calm down, you little fuck. All right. It's one hallway up and down, dude. We came down steps. We came up steps. We'll go down steps. Okay. It's not that hard. And then goddamn, if they don't come to a fork in the stairwell. And he's like, what now? And she's like, yeah, this, okay. Let's just pick this one. They pick the right one, I think, or something. I don't know. They pick one. And, they assume, they're like, well, it's stairs going down, and we came from down, so technically we're still going in the right direction no matter which way we go. So they head down, and then they hear footsteps coming up toward them. And they're like, oh, what luck. Mr. Starks is coming back for us. This is going to work out. Great. And then I'll read a little bit here. Mr. Starks, is that you? I called down. Silence. Except for the approaching footsteps. Mr. Starks, I called in a tiny voice. Oh, tiny voice. Mr. Starks. When the dark figure appeared in the stairway below, I could see at once that it wasn't our tour guide. Oh! I uttered a startled cry as the huge man in the black cape stepped into view. His face was still hidden in darkness, but his eyes glowed like burning coals as he glared up at Eddie and me from under the black, wide-brimmed hat. Is that the way down? I stammered. He didn't reply. He didn't move. His eyes burned into mine. I struggled to see his face, but he kept it hidden in the shadow of the hat, pulled low over his forehead. I took a deep breath and tried again. We got separated from our group, I said. They must be waiting for us. Is this the way down? Again, he didn't reply. He glared up at us menacingly. He's so big, I realized. He blocks the entire stairway. Sir, I started. My brother and I... He raised a hand. A huge hand, covered in a black glove. He pointed up to us. You will come with me now, he growled. I just stared at him. I didn't understand. You will come now, he repeated. I do not want to hurt you, but if you try to escape, I will have no choice. Dum, 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 he said it like that. Oh, a British dum, dum, dum. Dum, dum, dum. Nah, mate. Nah, damn Australian again. Fuck.
You Dabney cobbler. So... Dabney. Oh,
Sheffield way there. Damn it, Australian again.
Yeah, that's... Oh, and you did Sheffield. It's actually Shropshire, just south of Sheffield. And also, that's Mr. Starks. We hadn't decided on where the executioner was from. But Sue, she's just like, oh, you know what? I bet this guy's just a guard who works here. Hey, I'm real sorry for being late inside the tower. I'm from America, as you might have guessed from my accent. I don't really give a fuck about foreigners and their time, so I'm a real dick. Surprisingly, the guy grabs Sue by her shoulder and she's like, hey, I know why you're here, and you know why I'm here. And she's like, I really fucking don't, dude. I don't. What are you talking about? This guy, clearly not employee of the year, shoves them both against the wall. And he's like, hey, don't move or escape. Because you're going to tourist attraction prison, which is real prison. And he pulls out 3 white stones, and then he starts piling them up, one atop the other, which you're going to have to cut out the next bit. Just makes me think he's autistic, not a bad guy.
Right. I mean, we've all stacked a few.
I just had to. He's stacking. Then one of them falls off, and he gets really frustrated, and like Sue her, and she's like, "Okay, it's okay, buddy. Like, try again." He's like, "Okay." She's stacking. Like, anyway, he's stacking these rocks. Did I even say anything that's not a joke against disabled people? Let's just start that over from the beginning. So he pulls out 3 white stones, and he starts stacking them one on top of each other, which seems weird. Maybe not a priority move when you're trying to steal children.
I got a cousin that does that stuff a lot.
Fuck you.
What?
Nothing. I'm sure your cousin's great. But while he's stacking stones, the top stone, which is the last one he's stacking on there, so I'm sure he's just like, okay, 1 stone, okay, 2nd stone, Fire, last stone. Fuck! Super angry. Whole tower falls of 3 rocks. Sue's just like, Eddie, book it. Gotta go. Don't know why I'm talking like this. Bum, 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 bum.
Yep. Classical fucking rock. The old rock
and roll.
Trick. I don't know.
It's rock and roll.
Rock and roll, yeah. I didn't know what to make of this when I was reading it in real time. I was like, well, this might be the weirdest fucking thing I've read in Goosebumps book. This is wild.
It's just like, I'm the sinister villain. Stand against this wall. 1 stone?
1, 2, 3. Okay, got them here. Stack them. That's exactly how I imagined it.
Fuck! I thought I missed something. I don't know what I would have missed.
I know.
But I was like, I went back. It's like, okay, so what? Okay, he's just stacking stones. And they're just watching him stacking stones. Anyway.
You'd read this one before, right?
I think so. I think this is a library book for me, though. Like, I might have picked it up once. I thought they were dead. The moment they're like, oh, and this was a room of Prince Edward and Princess Susanna. And it's just like, oh, you mean Eddie and Sue? Okay. They're dead ghosts. Yeah, that's what I thought. By chapter 3.
Right.
But I was wrong.
Well, here we've got live kids. And the man yells and the kids run and he chases them, a little bit of a caper here.
Fuck up and put typos in your section.
Yeah, well, it was bothering me. They were like, who was he? Why is he angry? What, most importantly, what were those fucking stones about, dude? What was that about? And they reach the exit at the bottom. Well, they think they do anyway. They come to a doorway at the bottom that they assume is an exit that will lead outside, much like the way they came in. And they barge into the door and boom, it won't budge. Now, he doesn't say whether they tried pushing and pulling, but they surmise that it's locked. And then they hear the man coming, dum 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 down the steps.
Oh, he ended
and they
the
panic,
chapter?
And then they're like,
so then.
No, not yet. No. They just. I'm sorry, God.
Sorry.
That was 4. God, I can't do it. Forget. I can't do a door knock. It triggers you to wake up.
Oh, it's my turn.
With the kids.
So chapter 10. Shit, I'm not evens.
Yeah, you're evens. Come on now. I mean, you're odds. God damn it. All right. Okay, then, Mike. Damn it, Australian. All right. Kids panic, and then they barrel into the door again. As the man gets near, they barrel into it again. Give a little elbow grease and shoulder grease probably there too. And then the door opens just partway. Just a little bit of door open in there. What's that now?
Give it a little ovaries. It's like, no, elbow grease.
Elbow grease, ovaries, ovary grease. Don't give them that. Anyway.
Is that just egg yolk?
That is true. Yep.
Hey, Pam, would ovary grease be egg yolks?
Yeah, I think so. She's got to agree with that. Come on.
She just kicked me out of it. I have to leave.
Keep the recording going.
I'll see if she can take over.
But no, the kids panic, get the door open eventually, and then they slide through, much like an egg yolk, through a membrane of sorts. And then once they get to the other side, they use a metal bar over the door to lock it. And then they're like, we're safe. We've separated ourselves from the big bad guy chasing us down the steps in this place that we're trespassing in. Very cool. And but they turn and realize they're actually not outside like they thought they were. They're actually in a huge dark room. And then from the darkness inside the room comes a cruel sounding voice that's laughing evilly at them and tells them that they aren't out of trouble yet. Bum, bum, bum.
So then, Eddie and Sue are just like, oh shit, a voice from the darkness telling us that we're not out of trouble yet. That can't be bad. Bony hands start reaching through the cell bars at them. A cage man on the other side of the door pounds on it, telling them they can't escape. Sue's looking for any kind of way to get out of there, sees a crack of light across the room, runs towards it, trips, falls forward, cracks her face on the ground, teeth go flying everywhere. That doesn't happen. Oh, all right. She trips over her body, lands on its chest, and she's like, holy fuck! And then she realizes it's like a mannequin dummy or whatever. And she's like, oh, god damn it. It's a display dummy. Because we're in a tourist attraction. It's just a dummy that's mannequin. It's just chained to the floor. And then she's, they're just all fake. These fake hands. And it's recording telling them to abandon all hope. Yada. Oh, thank God. But then the very real murderer pedophile tears through the doors like, whoa, like a sinister Kool-Aid man. Bum, 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 bum.
Like an uncool aid man.
I guess more like a Flavor Aid man.
Hey, that must be it.
Yeah. Flavor Aid is what they used.
The man tells them, he's like, come on, guys. You know why I'm chasing you. You know. And they're like, we don't. And he's like, come on. You know. And they're like, no, you've made a mistake. We don't know. And he's like, come on now. You know what I'm doing. And they don't. And then the kids run from him again, back across the room. And he's like, guess they don't know. Weird. Okay. And then they hear a thud. And it turns out the man had tripped over the same dummy. A little comic relief there. He's like, he's got to run after them again.
So who's the real dummy?
I got him. Fucking got his ass down. Good job there, bud. And then he falls down. Then he has to get all back up again, straighten his mask out, and pick up his axe. I mean, it's a whole thing. Poor guy. He's out of breath. Sue finds a table with a flashlight on it. Oh, jackpot. And it works, believe it or not. And she uses the flashlight, shines it around the room real quick, finds a little tunnel or like a little entryway that's low to the floor, big enough for a kid to crawl through. And she crawls through. It's in the corner of the room. They run over. Well, I guess it's not crawl through. It's an actual tunnel. It's like a small doorway that they run through, actually. Sorry about that. Run through the doorway. It actually leads to a sewer. And I'm going to read a little bit here from the book, if I get there to it. The light from my flashlight bounced wildly from the floor to the rungs along the top of the sewer. Eddie and I splashed through the puddles of dirty water. We were having a good time out there, just splashing in the poop water. And then we both gasped when we heard the footsteps behind us. Heavy, ringing footsteps, thundering in the low tunnel. Everything's low. Low tunnels, low doorways, low moans. Everything's a little bit low around here. But they're growing louder and louder. I glanced back, but the caped man was hidden by the curve of the sewer tunnel. And his footsteps boomed. They boomed out there, steadily, even rapidly. I could tell he wasn't far behind. He's going to catch us, I told myself in a panic. This tunnel is never going to end. Eddie and I can't run much farther. He's going to catch us in the dark, damp sewer. And then what? What does he want? Why did he say that we knew what he wanted? How could we know? I stumbled forward. The flashlight bumped against the wall and fell from my hand. It clattered to the tunnel floor and rolled in front of me. The light shone back into the tunnel, back toward the caped man. I saw him move into view, bent low. He's now bending low bend, running hard. Oh, a frightened moan escaped my lips. Not a low moan, just a frightened one. I bent to pick up the flashlight. It slid out of my trembling hand. That was all the time the caped man needed. He grabbed Eddie with both hands. He pulled the black cape around my brother, trapping him inside his cape like he was a squirrel that he found on the ground. And then he reached for me. I told you, there is no escape, he rasped, moderately British-like. Dum.
I ducked out of the caped man's grasp. With another frightened groan, I grabbed the flashlight off the floor. Sorry, I fucking...
All these groans and moans. It's hard. It better not be.
Just one of them. With another frightened groan... One testicle. With another frightened groan, I grabbed the flashlight off the floor. I don't know why I decided to give her like a manlier voice after that little groan. With another frightened groan, I grabbed the flashlight off the floor. I planned to use it as a weapon, to shine in the Cape Man's eyes or swing it at his head. But I didn't get a chance. I froze in horror as the beam of light bounced down the tunnel. And I saw the rats. Hundreds of them. Hundreds of chittering gray rats. The darting light made their eyes glow red as fire. The rats came scrabbling over the sewer floor, snapping their jaws hungrily, gnashing their jagged teeth as they came charging at us. Their shrill whistling and chittering echoed through the tunnel. The terrifying sound made my breath catch in my throat. The tiny red eyes glowed in the light as they scrabbled towards us. As they pulled their scrawny bodies over the hard floor, their tails slithered behind them like dark snakes. The Cape Man saw them too. He leaped back in surprise. An eddy came tearing out from under the cape. He gulped in shock as his eyes locked on the charging rats. "Jump!" I cried. "Eddie, jump!" Eddie didn't move. We both gaped at the rats in horror. A churning sea of whistling, chewing, red-eyed rats. A living tidal wave of rats. "Jump! Jump now!" I shrieked. I raised both hands, jumped. Eddie jumped too. We grabbed onto the metal rungs embedded in the sewer roof. Pulling myself up, I frantically lifted my feet as high as I could from the floor. Higher, higher as the rats charged underneath me. A foul odor rose up, nearly choking me as the rats ran past. I could hear the tap-tap-tap of their long toenails against the floor, hear the swish of their sweeping tails. I couldn't see the rats in the darkness, but I could hear them and feel them. They jumped at my shoes, scratched at my legs with their sharp claws, and kept coming. Just like I do. So the Cape Man manages to get away from the rats, running away from them with his axe over his head, being like, "Ah, sacre bleu!" Rats are pouncing on him. He's just like, "Wah!" I'm just imagining like rats, just like he's running there. Rats are like attached to his cape and flying off of him. He's pretty upset. Our kids, Edward and Susanna, they drop back down to the floor now that the rats have passed, pick up the flashlight, heading on through the tunnel. They see some stairs. They think maybe there'll be an exit, because I don't know if you've forgotten, because we're in chapter 11. This has been like 2 hours of one day. Very bad tour. Very bad tour so far. Find the ladder out. Get back up to the surface, start jogging back to that parking lot, and tour bus is gone. Not exploded. It's not like the car in One Day at Horrorland. It's just fucking gone. And then a tall, white-haired man limps towards them, speaking in... it's actually a small neighborhood in like South Central London between Pickering Square and Delton Street, like kind of where they interject. That's where this accent comes from. So this tall white-haired man limping towards them. Edie! And they're freaking out. Oh no! Right. What now? Bum, bum, bum. Or, in the language of our gentleman, bam, bam, bam.
Very good. Just the night guard. Just an old night guard with that accent. Guarding the night with that old accent. So he says, your tour guide had waited for you, but he had to leave there, mate. And the kids, fuck, I hate myself. The kids tell, I can't.
It's like all of your British characters start off British and then being deported to Australia. In the middle of the sentence. It's like, I too love my life in law. Oh, no, koalas.
Every time. I can't help it. It's an affliction. So the kids tell this man that another man was chasing him. And he assures them, he's like, listen, there shouldn't be a man. There shouldn't be a man out here. They're like, there was definitely a man chasing us. And he was like, well, I don't know if it makes you feel better or not, but there shouldn't have been. Okay?
Don't worry, kids.
I don't know if this helps.
Night janitor. He was a murderer.
He's a murderer.
We're gonna stick with murdering. We're gonna stay away from the other jokes. Just
sure.
murder.
Yeah. So and then he turns the tables on him. He goes, actually, you're breaking the rules by entering sewers. All right. You're just out here telling me wild stories. All right. I don't believe you kids that think you're up to no good. And Sue's like, we want to go home. Our parents are in town. They came to a conference here at the Barclay Hotel. And the man's like, well, you can go to the phone booth over there and call a cab if that's what you need to do, because you done missed your bus. And I am but just a lowly agitated night guard. And so they do run over there, call a cab, get one. They ride the taxi back toward the hotel. Flash forward. We're moving now. We're moving away from the tower. But it turns out, because the cab driver turns around and tells them, like, how much it's going to be or whatever, and Sue hands him some money, but the money that she has in her pocket isn't actually real money or money that the cab driver recognizes. She hands him some shiny coins, and he's mad. He's like, what is this? What is it, play money? The fuck is this? And she's like, no. He's like, I want my money now. Uh-oh. Bum, bum, bum.
Sue is just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Listen, my parents are inside. You can tell I'm American, so I'm probably good for it. So let me just go run inside real quick, get 20, 30 bucks from my pops, hook you up real good, all right? And cab driver is pretty trustworthy, honestly, because he's like, yeah, sure, whatever, go in there, that's fine. Just give me my money or I'll break your thumbs. Have you ever heard of a thumb screw? And Sue's just like, Jesus Christ, holy shit. So as they're going into the hotel, Sue and Eddie are just like, let's fucking ding-dong ditch this motherfucker. Actually, they don't say that. They're like, let's get the money from our kids. But they start looking at the money that their parents gave them earlier today and like, what the fuck's going on? And there's just these big, thick, heavy gold and silver coins. And if I, myself, had been the cab driver, been like, yeah, I'll need like all of these to make 16 pounds. But the cab driver's dumb. There's probably like thousands of dollars worth of gold sovereigns in that bag. Anyway, the kids are just like, what the fuck? Why are mom and dad give us this bullshit fuddy-duddy money? And so, whatever. So they go up to the hotel room. They knock on the door. No one answers. Luckily, there's a maid nearby, and they're just like, hey, you need to fucking let us into our room because we're Americans. And the lady, she's just all like, oh, quite right. I'm sorry I didn't let you into your room sooner. And she opens the door and lets children into some random room. Room 626, I think. They keep saying that number a lot. Yeah, they just like over. I keep thinking, it's like, is that like the year
I think it's
they
626.
died?
Yeah.
But then they realize there's no note from their parents. Their parents are supposed to have been at a meeting or conference in the hotel all fucking day. There's no note, nothing here. So they go into their parents' bedroom, open up because they're in a suite. Because if you're going to travel to London with children, suite's the way to go. Separate room. Otherwise, drop them off at a hostel. They'll be mostly safe. Open up the parents' bedroom. Nothing. Beds are made. Nothing in the closet. No shoes laid out. Nothing. It's like nobody was there ever.
It's kind of, for me, reading the book, I'm getting real into this book around here. I'm finding this because we're unraveling a lot, and there's not been a lot of cheap dumb bum bums.
No, it's all real. They're fucking being chased. Like there's only been a couple times where, like, it was the mannequin so far, but that's only been, I think, the only cop out bum.
Yeah, you're right. So far,
well, except for the camera thing, it turns out because the camera's broken.
Yeah, that was dumb.
This would be the last picture ever taken. Oh, my camera's broken.
But at least they've been clever. Anyway, they've not just been like hands on the shoulder or something like that. They've all been.
There hasn't been a single hand on the shoulder, and it's been Eddie being like, "Do you like the feel of my hands on your shoulder thing?" He's just like, "Stop, you creep." Anyway, oh shit, yeah. So no one's ever been in the room. Bum.
Is that the end? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because there's no one there. It's just like, did our parents ever exist? I don't.
I literally don't know. I couldn't tell you. The kid.
There's actually an old story, a folklore about a little girl who travels to some like France or something with her mom. Mom's not feeling well. She lays down. The little girl goes out for the day. She comes back to the hotel, and the hotel's just like, what are you talking about? Your mom was never here. No. And then she gets taken up to the room and no one's there. And yeah, that's it.
It's creepy.
And it turns out like her mom has like died of some illness. And so they took her body away to be like incinerators, some shit like that, and hid that she was ever there to keep the talk of the disease from spreading.
Wow.
Oh, wait, I've got an answer to my question from earlier about what ovary grease would be.
I'm glad you brought that back. Well, the kids still assume, they're like, you know what? I like it.
Pam's answer is that egg yolks would not be ovary grease. So if you'd like to disagree with, this isn't going to be in the podcast, is it? You're not going to let me talk about ovary grease.
I'm just curious, if it's not that, what would it be? What would it be?
I mean, I can follow up, I guess. Anyway, start chapter 14.
Sure. So the kids, what I like about these kids in some way, which is that they're kind of dumb. I think that helps this story because the kids are defiant. They're like, well, even though there's no sign of our parents in this room where we woke up, in theory, we woke up today and saw them and told them we would be gone and they would be at the conference. They're not here anymore. There's no sign we ever were here, even though that's staring us in the face. I bet they're still down there at that meeting. I bet that's what happened. They packed up all our shit for some reason, midday. Maybe we had to check out early, and then they just took the stuff with them to the meeting, and they're just down there waiting for us. And at one point, Eddie's like, are we in the right room? And I was like, I'm glad he asked, because I had the same question. And Sue was like, I am pretty positive that we only got a key for one room in this hotel. So, and we're in here. I guess they didn't get a key, though. They told the janitor guy, unlock the door for them. You probably said that. Anyway, forget, I'll edit all that. Anyway.
Don't you worry. Don't you remember my maid character? It sounds very similar to every other British character I've done.
That is true.
In spite of the regional accents.
I've loved the deep dive. Well, they decide, let's go downstairs and check that meeting space. Or maybe parents are waiting for them downstairs in the hotel restaurant. Check there. Let's not panic. Eddie's panicking a little bit, but Sue's trying to keep it cool. She's being a cool cucumber for an older sister, despite all of this that's worrying her. And they go down, they talk to the front desk, and they're like, hey, where's that conference at? Big conference? We got our parents here for a conference. And the man at the front desk is confused. He's like, hold on. Are you saying conference? And they're like, yeah, conference here in the hotel. And they're like, conference in the hotel? And they're like, yeah, I don't know how else we could have said that. And he's like, there's no conferences or meetings this week in this hotel. And they're like, well, shit. Okay. And so Eddie's like, okay, so you said we had the right room. Do we have the right hotel, Sue? And Sue's like, yeah, we have the right hotel. We're in the right place. Just our parents aren't here.
I'm worried about Eddie because, like, you don't recognize the lobby or anything, Eddie. He's just like, are you sure? I mean, I guess it's one thing if they think they're two different Hiltons. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Same floor plan. Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, you're at the Barclay?
Yeah, he's at the hotel. It was a very specific name. And the front desk even confirms that their room, 626, that they went to look in, is actually registered as vacant. And now the kids are worried and panicked. They're like, where's mom and dad?
Children. Always getting worried.
Sorry, the children are. Where's mom and dad? I swear they were here earlier. We have parents. We have to. And then I'm going to read a bit here from El Buque. The clerk forced a smile to his face. He raised both hands as if to say, let's all remain calm. We will find your parents, he told us, leaving the smile frozen on his face. He punched a few computer keys. Now, what is your last name? I opened my mouth to answer, but no answer came to mind. I glanced at Eddie. His face was knitted in concentration. Oh, what's your last name, kids? The clerk repeated. If your parents are in the hotel, I'm sure we can track them down for you. But I need to know your last name. I stared blankly at him, and he stared blankly at us, and I had a strange tingly feeling. It started in the back of my neck and ran all the way down. Where'd it go there? It ran all the way down my body. I suddenly felt as if I couldn't breathe, as if my heart had stopped. My last name. Why couldn't I remember my last name? I could feel my body start to shake. Tears brimmed in my eyes. This was so upsetting. My name is Sue, I told myself. Sue what? Shaking, tears running down my cheeks, I grabbed Eddie by the shoulders. Eddie, I demanded, what is our last name? I don't know, he sobbed. Oh, Eddie. I pulled my brother close and hugged him. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? Bum, bum, bum. Getting weird out here.
Pam, so what is ovary grease?
Yeah, Pam, come on. What is it?
Why are you asking me this?
Because Travis
Don't put this on me. Don't
that
put this.
sounds like ovary grease, and now we want to know what ovary grease could possibly be.
What is it, Pam?
Follicular fluid.
Oh, God, she had like a real answer.
Oh, what is it?
I'm going to still say egg yolks.
Yeah, same.
All of this is staying in the podcast, right? Because we've invested a lot of time into. Thank you, Pam.
Thanks, Pam. Boy.
Travis said thank you too.
Yep. Thank you, man. She's so helpful. I love when she contributes.
Anyway, kids, they calm the fuck down because you know what? They're gonna get some food. They're gonna get some chow down at the restaurant. They get a menu. They freak out because they're just like, "Hey, what meals are you guys serving?" And the waiter's just like, "We're just serving tea now." And the kids are just like, "Oh fuck, we can't just eat tea, bro. That's not food. That's water that's been run through tea leaves. That's not food." And the waiter's just like, "Oh, don't you worry. In England, tea means food." And they're very excited, so they get a bunch of food. So, not only can they, as they're eating, they're just like, "Hey, let's try and remember other things we don't remember." And they realize they don't even remember what their parents look like, which I feel like might freak the fuck out a lot.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole chapter, it's just like, because they realize they don't know what their parents' first names are. They don't remember anyone's last names. They just remember that it's room 626, that their parents have conferences, that they have the tour, the Mr. Starks, but they don't even remember yesterday or the day before that or anything that came before this day started at the trip.
Yeah, and one thing I really like about this story is, like, up to this point, none of this feels tied together. Like, the only hint that we have that anything is, I guess, maybe connected in a way that we don't know yet is that of the Edward and Susanna reference from a long time ago. But so far, we've been in a castle. We missed a bus. We met a weird guy with white stones. We were chased by a wizard dude
no one
in a
else
hat.
seems to have seen either. So it's like, is he death pursuing?
Right.
Is he a ghost? Is he a spider? Like some crazy inventor?
And then we changed locations. We're no longer at the tower. We're at a hotel. We don't remember we don't see our parents. We don't know anything. Like, it's by this point in the book, I'm looking at where we are and I'm like, is he going to be able to resolve this? This is crazy.
There's no resolution. And it's only going to get worse because just as they're tucking into their last cucumber and watercress sandwich or wherever the fuck they serve in UK, probably in a bed of weird bubbly jelly, a blonde man enters the restaurant. This is so you know it's not the Cape guy from earlier.
Right, different guy.
Yeah. Blonde man enters the restaurant, and both the kids are like, "Oh, fuck, the cabbie. The meter's still running. Bump, bump." And to be honest, I forgot about the cabbie at this point also. But I'm like, is he really out there waiting? Because really, he's waiting for about like $40. I don't know what that is in like 1994 money, but I feel like you cut your loss at that point. Like if you've been waiting an hour. Because these kids went up to their hotel room, came back downstairs, talked to a guy into giving them a free meal, have eaten a lot of this free meal, which is, you know, a bunch of sandwiches that were probably just brought over. But still, it's been a chunk of time.
It's
and
been
this
a
cat
while.
is just like... But anyway,
I too had forgotten all about the cabbie. They mentioned a guy coming in the restaurant. I was like, oh shit, the cabbie. Yeah, I'd be pissed too.
I thought it was the other guy. I thought it was the Cape guy and the hat guy. And it's just, oh no, and he's got blonde hair now. Ooh, so he's sexy and bad. And I was like, oh, that's the cabbie.
Yeah. So, they decide, well, we don't have money for him. We might as well run. So they search for other exits. And Eddie's like, we should just tell him what happened. And Sue mocks him. And she's like, yeah, that we can't pay him because we lost our memory and don't know our own name and can't find our parents. Yeah, he probably won't buy that, Eddie. And Eddie's like, nah, touche. Let's scram. So they run because I would also run away from having to explain any of that to a stranger. and they take a random exit that they find that leads them through some staff-only corridor, and they turn a corner, and then, now they see that man we feared earlier. The caped man is waiting in the hallway, and he's like, I got to work up a British accent because I've been failing. I've got to channel John Cleese there.
Just turn your crank on this one.
Did you really think, oh man, did you really think I wouldn't follow you? Did you really think you could escape from me? That's so bad. Bum.
Sorry.
Jesus fucking Christ,
you
dude.
You really like Crocodile Dundee. Or is it Bayou Billy? Is that what you're really into?
Bayou Billy. That's so Australian, dude. Can't shake it.
You're the most Australian. So our friend from the tower marches up, and he's just like, hey, fucking give him back, all right? Oh, wait, he says it in a British accent, though. Oi, give him back, all right? And Sue's just like, the fuck are you... what did we take? We didn't take anything. Eddie's like, I'll give him back if you leave us alone. And Sue's like, what the fuck, Eddie? What did you do? He pulls 3 smooth white stones out of his pocket because he's the master picket of pockets. He picks those pockets and pockets of them picks. So he's super excited. Question for you. Do you think the pickpocket thing is just a random new thing added to his personality when he was sent to Forward to the Future? Spoilers. Or is the prince really good at picking pockets?
Oh.
Where did this come from? Is this Eddie of the future, or is this Prince Eddie, which is like, I really like digging around in me subjects' pockets and stealing their valuables because I'm the worst prince ever. Could you imagine if you had to worry about your royalty stealing shit from you in the most petty way possible? It's like, you already got to fuck my wife. Like, did you have to steal my goddamn Froyo card too? Like, man.
You make a good point. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really make sense for a prince to have that as a hobby, but I feel like all of Eddie's personality came from his past. I don't think I don't know.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Good call. No spackle on it?
Anyway.
You just letting it ride?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Right.
So he stole them when they were all in the sewer, and the guy was like, I'm gonna grab you. And Eddie's like, I'm terrified. Let me get into that pocket and feel these rocks, which is a weird response, but okay. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a reading. I don't know what voice I gave the executioner guy, if we did give him a voice.
Kind of gravelly there, mate. It's like a gravelly Australian.
They are important. The Cape Man bellowed. Oh, they are important. I'm going to do a large British man.
I like that.
Anyway,
I like that.
Just
give me a bear.
Just imagine a man shaped like a potato, but angry. An angry, round...
like the man Dorman drew, yeah.
Potato. They are important. The caped man bellowed. He grabbed the stones from Eddie's hand. Now will you let us go? Eddie cried. Guys like Eddie always feel like they're going to have like a high-pitched, like kind of nasally, obnoxious, twerpy little voice. Like that you just want to punch him. Now will you let us go? Eddie cried. Yes, we will go. Now I've just turned into Sulla from Indiana Jones. Yes, you were named after the dog. Junior. I'm just going to do this whole thing over. This is just garbage. I'm sorry, Travis. Chapter 1.
Fuck.
They are important, the Cape Man bellowed. He grabbed the stones from Eddie's hand. Now will you let us go? Eddie cried. Yes, we will go now, the man replied, concentrating on the stones. That's not what I said, Eddie exclaimed. Will you let us go? The man ignored him. He piled the stones one on top of the other in his palm. Then he chanted some words in a foreign language that I didn't recognize. As soon as he chanted the words, the hallway began to shimmer. The doors began to wiggle and bend as if made of rubber. The floor buckled and swayed. The Cape Man began to shimmer and bend too, The hallway throbbed with a blinding white light. I felt a sharp stab of pain, as if I'd been hit hard in the stomach. I couldn't breathe. Everything went. Bum, bum, bum.
Yep, everything went. And then it doesn't feel like the connective tissue is there between what you just said and what I have to say. Hold on a second.
It all went black. All right, I went for a dramatic. Okay. She went.
Oh, went black. Yep, and then they find themselves there in a long old hallway, flickering lights, candlelit hallway in the castle, and they're a bit confused about how they got there. And I bet it has something to do with what happened last chapter, but the kids don't put that together for a minute. And they even say it looks like an old version of the hotel, but they don't put together that they could have moved through time. They feel like they surmise that they have moved through a different physical location of the hotel that just so happens to look older. And they make their way around looking for an elevator, and they don't find one. Instead, they just pass by some people in robes that are just walking through the castle. I imagine like a line of monks for some reason. I don't think that that's geospatially correct, but that's what it filled my head with. They had monks
in England, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't you remember Friar Tuck and Little John from Robin Hood and shit? Yeah.
My mind goes to that one Sprint commercial where they're smashing the phone books off their heads, and they're like, what are they saying there? Whack, and they're like, use Sprint. Anyway, ad for Sprint.
Or like in Holy Grail, Mind Partha and the Holy Grail,
Oh, dude, you nailed that. Yeah, that's it. I think that's what the Sprint commercial riffed. I don't know why I went Sprint first.
Definitely 100%. Fuck you, Sprint.
Yeah, fuck Sprint. Anyway, these old people in robes come through there, and the kids ask them about an elevator. Like, hey, where's the elevator? And the robed man, he's got bushy eyebrows, and he walks up to them and tells them, he's like, I smell evil around you, and tells them not to leave the abbey. I smell evil around you. Your time is near, so very near. Bum, bum, bum. What the hell is this book?
So the kids are just, probably just some weird English custom to tell children they smell evil and stay in the abbey. That seems pretty British to me, to be honest with you.
I think it's a Beatles song.
Around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
stay in the abbey. You smell of evil. You smell fucking evil. Stay in the abbey.
Yeah, that sounds like the Beatles. I fucking hate the Beatles.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Sue's just like, we need to get a fucking move on, because, like, if I've learned anything, is if you don't know where you are, just move. Keep moving and never stop moving if you're lost. Remember that, kids. That's an important lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And they still think they're in the fucking hotel, because she's just like, oh, we're in this really old hotel that's filled with the monks. So they're trying to find the elevator to get the fuck out of there. So they're like, okay, let's back her around. Let's stop walking forward. And let's walk backward, back to the restaurant. Cab driver's probably gone because he's like, he hasn't even been born yet. Spoilers. But as they're trying to walk back that way, Sue's still trying to remember her last name as if it's important. It's not. Why do you need a last name? Come on now. Well, I'm gonna read a little bit of her interior thoughts, and I want to take you on a journey to becoming a 12-year-old girl from Boston. As we walked, I tried to remember our last name. I'm sorry, I'm taking like an actually emotional passage from the book and turning it into a joke. I'm a monster. As we walked, I tried to remember our last name. Tried to remember Mom and Dad. Tried to picture their faces. Tried to remember something about them. Losing your memory is so terrifying. Much more frightening than being chased by someone. That's because the problem is inside you, inside your own mind. You can't run away from it. You can't hide from it. And you can't solve it. You just feel so hopeless. My only hope was that Mom and Dad would be waiting in the room, that they could explain to Eddie and me what had happened to our memories, why I could never remember that my son passed away, that my husband died years ago, and that I'm alone now. Why can't I remember the people that have left me? R.L. Stein's The Notebook. That movie fucking pisses me off because it's basically like true love conquers Alzheimer's. Guess what? It doesn't. You know what conquers Alzheimer's? Death.
Whoa, easy.
That's what beats Alzheimer's. Fucking Nick Spark. Anyway.
Nick Spark. Oh, man.
So, pretty fucking grim stuff.
I think so. I thought that was well written. Got kind of inside the head of a kid in panic. Yeah.
And but luckily she doesn't have to worry about her mental acuity or anything, because even though they're going back the way they came, there's no door to the restaurant. It's just a blank brick wall. Bum bum bum. Keep in mind, this is the end of chapter 19. Still no fucking clue what's going on in this book. By now, we knew that Mr. Wood was the real evil dummy. We knew by now that was the case. And Mr. Wood was about to be run over with a snake. Like, we're at the point where things are about to be wrapped up.
Yeah.
And we don't even know the solution to why things are happening, much less how to fix the problem. Because by now we'd be trying to fix the problem. Like, oh shit, it's the suntan oil. We got to roll around in the snow. We'll scare Courtney using mudmen faces. Like, we're at the point where we're going to hit the twist, but we haven't even hit the explanation to be twisted yet. So, chapter 19 just finished with them being like, oh shit, we don't remember anything, and the door to the restaurant's gone, so I guess we're going to starve to death in this monk abbey.
Dude, it reads like a bad dream. It does. Everything is so discombobulated.
It does feel so surreal, where like it just seems... Have you ever seen Jacob's Ladder?
Yeah. Is that with Tim
Robbins. This kind of feels like that to some degree, too, in some places, where it's just like, wait, did we skip a... Why are we here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Weird.
Exactly that. And, to your point.
Which led more to me thinking this was like, oh, were they dead?
Yeah. And two, I don't even think we're counting. I don't know how I got to two. But also, if this were
I think
like.
You're saying to this point,
not
number
maybe.
2.
But I feel like if this book were earlier I think even when we started the podcast, R.L. Stein's a known quantity. But if I'm reading this without any other context of Goosebumps, I'm probably not liking it very much. But I have a lot of trust by now. R.L. Stein's going to take care of us. We're going to get some answers, which it makes me excited for this book as it keeps on, I guess, pedaling along without any answers. But anyway, there's no door. Eddie's upset because he felt pretty sure there was going to be the door to the restaurant there, and it ends up being just an old stone wall. And Sue's like, well, we probably took a wrong turn. Let's just go back and, there's a lot of hallways and stuff. And he's like, no, I'm pretty sure we didn't. I think this is different. And Eddie says, well, here's an idea. Maybe we should find an exit outside, and then we can walk around the outside of the building and then find the restaurant. That might be the best way to go. If we can find like a little emergency exit door here on the side, we can just take that and go outside and figure it out. So they go looking for another door, and they hear voices down a nearby hallway, and they're like, oh, there's people down there. And they seems like a lot of people talking. Maybe that's like a cafeteria / restaurant type situation over there. We should go inspect that, see what's happening. So they head on over there, and they reach this room. And in there, they see there's people in what they describe as weird clothes and, roasting weird, they call it weird food on like a spit, but it's like roasting like a deer on a spit, like big animals. And there's a lot of what they consider weird foods, but just sort of out of vogue foods you wouldn't normally see. These kids would probably see like a plate of spaghetti, some chicken nuggets, but these are like, big mounds. I'm gonna have to interject a tangent that is so unrelated you're gonna be angry. In Sopranos, which we just finished watching a few weeks back, they constantly refer to spaghetti sauce as gravy, and it pisses me off so much. Anyway. Yeah, the old spagravy there, yeah. Yeah, they had a lot of...
You know what's gravy? It goes on biscuits. It goes on potatoes. It does not fucking go on pasta.
I mean, I'm with you, buddy. A little Alfredo gravy, never hurt a soul, but I don't like calling it that. But no, they had a whole deer or an elk, maybe turning on a spit on the floor. A lot of weird foods, long tables, a lot of laughing, singing, toasting of big frothy mugs, and the kids keep looking around there, and people are eating with their hands, dude. They see 2 chickens run by, one being chased by a dog in this room. There was a mother letting her little baby just gnaw on a pork chop of some sort, just gnawing on it, dude. You don't let kids do that in this day and age.
I was once at a Golden Corral, and as I'm walking towards the buffet, no judgment here, I was also at this Golden Corral, but there was this younger girl, I want to say like a very round child. The kind of child you'd expect to see in a Golden Corral, perhaps. And she's walking by me with a plate that is already overburdened with everything from, like, it's not, I'm not exact, it's just everything from the buffet table. And she calls out, "I want a pork chop!" And I think of that little girl a lot. Sorry,
that little girl is in this scene. For sure.
No, I can see her with her, like, basically, I'm assuming her pajamas, her parents. I mean, this was in Virginia. It's a Golden Corral.
Yeah.
It's a Golden Corral in Chesapeake, Virginia. Just that kind of lank, long blonde hair that 8-year-old girls have, where it's just like, just that greasy blonde hair. Just like, "I want a pork chop!"
I love it, dude. There's definitely a kid in this scene begging for a pork chop. But Sue, she's like, "Man, this has got to be like a costume party. Like these are like a Ren fair. These are people dressed up. They're just having a good time partying here." And she's like, "Yep, you know what? I bet that's what those road guys were doing. They probably stepped out for a bit. They'll be back to the party here soon enough." And there's some other clothing descriptions I was going to try to share here. They had long, colorful costumes, Sue says, long robes, loose-fitting pajama-type outfits of blue and green, leather vests worn over black tights. A lot of men and women wore animal furs around their shoulders, despite the blazing heat from the fireplaces. One man was appearing to be wearing a bear skin, an entire bear skin. He stood beside a giant wooden barrel working a spigot filling metal cups with thick brown liquid that oozed from the barrel. I surmise that's beer and not ancient old diarrhea. But anyway, they're experiencing all this, taking it all in. Seems a little odd. It's not what they're accustomed to. And they decide to walk up to someone and ask how to get out of the hotel. They figure that'd be the best thing for them to do is get the fuck out of a party they weren't invited to. And so they walk over to the middle of the room. They find someone. Everyone's staring at them now. Everyone's noticing them. Everyone, you can tell, thinks they look strange from what they're wearing, which is just regular 90s kids' clothes that R.L. Stine cannot resist from describing every other chapter that the kids are wearing. And the room grows quiet. And they're all staring at the 2 kids. And a red-faced man in a long white gown pointed at them and yells, "It's them! It's them! Bum, bum, bum. It's them."
So they're pretty freaked out.
Oh, yeah.
There's kind of a strange vibe in this room. Never a good sign when the whole room looks at you and they're like, "It's them." And instead of being like, "Surprise," they're just like, "Eat their flesh." That's like, there's a difference. So, context clues let you know that there might be a weird vibe versus a good vibe. So they book the fuck out of there. They're just like, "Run!" I feel like Sue says that to Eddie a lot. And it's like, Eddie should know to do this most of the time when she's like, "Run." So they're running down these candlelit hallways, a mob chasing after them, but it's starting to fade into the distance. So maybe they're almost safe. They get to a door. I haven't gotten to this one before. Eddie's excited. Sue's excited. Pop the door open. Bright sunlight outside, which is concerning. And Sue's just like, "Ah, shit, Eddie, what the fuck?" Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. They step outside there, and it's not what they expected. These kids expected a first world country, but nope, they got no pavement. They got a lumpy road, just a lumpy old dirt road out there. Chickens running around. R.L. Stine describes the old world as being lousy with chickens, and There are more chickens out there. No tall buildings. This is London. There are chickens and no tall buildings. And then Sue or Eddie, one of them, say, it's like we stepped back in time. And it's like, well, no shit. We finally, man, for 8 chapters, been hoping you'd get that. And then they turn back around, look behind them. They're pretty sure they came out of the hotel. But they turn around and it's not a hotel behind them. It's just a long brown hall, like a meeting hall, she surmises. Eddie says he's confused. He's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I think we should go back to the hotel. Which is funny to me that they just walked out of the hotel and they're both like, we got to get to the hotel. But they have no idea that they're just not in a time when the hotel exists. And Sue's also confused. And she keeps stressing on the fact, she's like, this is downtown London. Where are the taxis and the double-decker buses and the honking horns and the people selling bangers and mash out on the street corner? And it's just cows and mud out here. And then a boy comes along skipping to his loo or whatever they do out there. And Sue asks, she's like, hey there, British boy, could you point me toward the Barclay Hotel? And he's like, Barclay what? He's actually Australian. He's like, Barclay? What do you mean, Barclay? And he doesn't understand what hotel means either. They're ins to him playing RPG. And so he doesn't know what she means. He goes on his merry way. He's got a armload of wood he's taken to another home. It's old hard times. They do a lot with armloads of wood back then. And Sue's like, well, fuck, that was not helpful. Eddie, what do you think? Eddie! Ah, fuck, Eddie's gone. Bum, 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 we've lost Eddie.
So Sue's looking for Eddie. She calls for Eddie. Doesn't see Eddie. She's going from cottage to cottage. She's going from cottage to cottage, peering through the windows, which I think are just holes cut into the side of the cottage. They're not like windows, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. But then a shadow darkens the road. It's that motherfucking man.
Yeah.
The man with he's got the cape and he's got a new hat. The last one got eaten by rats. Yeah. And he's looking super pale and pissed off and bum.
Yeah. Yeah, new black. I like that he got a new black hat. That tickled me. That he had the Garlston was like, I gotta give him a hat. He's gotta have a hat.
He could go hatless.
Can't go hatless. Not out here. Not in this rain. Not in this London climate. Got him a hat.
He's always putting hats on people. He loves putting a hat on person.
Oh, he does. I'm surprised it's not an old timey Raiders hat.
Yeah. The number of times it's a Raiders hat is interesting.
It is interesting. Yeah. So yeah, Sue is scared of the man, but she assumes he has something to do with Eddie being missing. She asks this man where Eddie is, and the man chortles that she said. He's like, oh, Eddie. You call him Eddie, do you? Well, don't worry about Eddie. And he then tells her, he's like, we've got to go. And she says, hey, you got the wrong girl. We ain't going nowhere. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you're here for, but it ain't me you want. And then he's like, yeah, and he grabs her and carries her off. He does the old kidnapper, yeah, and he took her. And she kicks free. She's like, nope, fuck this. She kicks and writhes and kicks, and she gets free, and she runs, and she flees. She even knocks off his hat for good measure. And he's like, son of a bitch, I just got this one. Now you've got it muddy. So he's got to deal with his hat, and she runs off. She like hides behind like a little carriage that goes by and tries to sneak around and get out of there. And she looks back and notices that he's got I didn't know if this was important or not, but I took note. He's got a bald egg head. This guy without his hat on. He looks dumb.
I got that too. It's just like, is that important?
Yeah. Nope. Is he Voldemort? I know they like that over there. And then he puts his hat back on and chases her. So it's like none of that really happened, but he's back to chasing her with his hat on now. And she runs and people stare and the man's closing in. And then this part really got me. She sees a woman holding a baby and she's outside. There's like a bunch of cottages you can imagine. She's maybe now distanced herself a few dozen feet from the man. And she runs up to this woman holding a baby. And Sue's begging her. She's like, ma'am, please, you have to hide me. You have to save me from the man. And the lady holding the baby, she looks at the man and she looks at back to Sue there and back to the man and then looks at Sue and simply says, I cannot. Bum, bum, bum.
So Sue's like, what if I give you a shit ton of money? And then she's like, I can.
Which it feels like a nothing burger cliffhanger, but it's substantive.
Well, because this actually tells us something, because she's just like, because Sue's just like, she remembers the sack of money she had. She's like, what about if I give you this sack of whatever money? And the woman opens it up, and unlike the cab driver, she's like, oh my goodness, this your gold sovereign. I'm so poor, I've not even seen a gold sovereign since I was peerless. And Sue's just excited because she's like, oh, okay, she wants the money. And so the lady's just like, I'm gonna stuff you in this thing in the larder or whatever. You stay quiet, because now that you've given me gold sovereigns, everything's good. So get in my basket. I'll put a lid on the basket. No one will know where you are, and I will definitely protect you and never, ever betray you. Ever. And then a chill ran down my trembling body. I suddenly knew why everything looked so different, so old. We really have gone back in time, I told myself. We're back in London hundreds of years ago. The Cape Man brought us back here with those white stones. He thinks I am someone else. He has been chasing me because he has mistaken me for someone else. How do I make him see the truth, I wondered. And how do I get out of the past, back to my real time? I forced the questions from my mind and listened. I could hear voices outside the cottage, the woman's voice, and then the booming, deep voice of the black-caped man. I held my breath so I could hear their words over the loud beating of my heart. She's right in here, sire, the woman said. I heard footsteps, and then their voices became louder, closer. They were standing beside my basket. Where is she? The caped man demanded. I put her in this box for you, sire, the woman replied. She's all wrapped up for you, ready for you to take her away. Bum. That was my bump for that one. So
that was,
you take over now. It's your chapter, yeah.
Really something there, I tell you. Chilling, though. Chilling. You expected help from this lady. She was holding a baby. She cares about children.
Quite chilled. She's just the chilliest lady.
I know. Very
Quite
cold-blooded.
Chilly.
Quite indeed. Sue's angry more than scared at this point. She feels betrayed by this woman who she trusted and paid all of her shillings and sovereigns to, and she's inside that basket, and she's trying to burst out of that basket, but the lid's clamped down. Either the man's holding it shut or it's been actually clamped, and then she feels the basket move while she's inside of it. She's being transported, and the woman then takes this opportunity to yell to Sue and apologize. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm asking for your forgiveness, but I dare not cross the Lord High Executioner. For what he might do to my baby, he could smother my wee baby with pillars. Hey.
Do you think he travels with like a smothering pillow? Like instead of an axe or whatever, he's just got like
just a pillow at the end of a
horse.
stick.
He just rides up, and his squire hands him his smothering pillow.
I like that he has two pillows.
The smothering pillow.
I like that he has two pillows, and he tells someone, he's like, bring me my pillow, and they bring him a pillow. He goes, that's my smothering pillow. Take it back.
It's the one covered with spit and bile and is sticky and stiff.
That's the one I sleep
Pillow
on.
is clean.
So anyway, I thought that I liked all of that. I thought that was it showed like some cold-bloodedness that you wouldn't expect toward a child, and it's interesting. But then she feels herself while inside the basket being lifted onto a horse and ridden away, and now she worries, what will this Lord High Executioner want with me? And where's Eddie? Bum, bum, bum.
So, after a while, wagon stops. She's taken out of the box by two soldiers, and she's like, hey, I'm definitely not the right person. Listen to my accent. I'm from fucking Boston. I'm from Boston. I'm not from the past, from London. They're basically like, oh, who gives a fuck? Shut up. Please stop talking. They probably don't even understand her, because like the differences between the English language over the course of the last 600 years is just mind-boggling. They probably would have barely been able to even recognize the language she was speaking as English. It would have just been blah, blah. Just like the way, like when we listen to Australians, we barely know what they're saying. That's like the gulf we're talking about and the difference of their languages. So she takes a look around and she's like, oh, this is familiar. This is the terror tower that I saw in the future, but now we're back in the past. This isn't good, because now it's the tower that's full of terror, but now it's functional, working again, as opposed to being a tourist trap in downtown London. Not great. And she still doesn't know where the fuck Eddie is. So guards are leading her through the courtyard. Everyone's pretty unhappy. This isn't a happy place. Everyone's upset. No one's telling funny jokes about how it's like a long stretch in prison. That's not funny anymore because it's happening. You can't make jokes like that now. It's insensitive to people who've been stretched.
It's true.
And they throw her in a fucking tower cell. But luckily, Eddie's there. He's a little upset. He tells her, right, gonna do a little bit of reading. Kind of goes over what happened to Eddie. Basically, fucking got snatched way early on before she even talks to that little boy, who for a second I thought was Eddie in the past when she was talking to the little fisher boy, and that she was actually talking to past Eddie, and that's why Eddie disappeared. I was really overthinking the book, is what I'm saying. Anyway. This is so awful, I cried, struggling to hold my tears back. One of the soldiers lifted me onto his horse, Eddie said. I tried to squirm away, but I couldn't. He brought me to the castle and dragged me up to the tower. The caped man, he's the Lord High Executioner, I told my brother. That's what I heard a woman call him. The words made my brother gasp. His dark eyes locked onto mine. Executioner? I nodded grimly. But why does he want us? Come on, Eddie. He's a fucking executioner. Why has he been chasing us? Why are we locked up in this horrible tower? A sob escaped my throat. I don't know, I stammered. I started to say something else, but stopped when I heard noises outside the door. Eddie and I huddled together in the CRT of the room.
So
That's what it says. In my book, it says...
Wait, what page is your book?
It's just the last... It's literally like the last paragraph in this chapter.
I gotta see this. Page 121.
I'm guessing it's center, but it says CRT of the room. Eddie and I huddled together in the center of the room. I heard the bolt slide to one side. The door slowly began to open. Someone was coming for us. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong chapter. Okay, hold on a second.
I can just send you a screenshot.
Wait, it was a chapter
27.
I scrolled down getting faint.
I just did.
27. I was looking at the wrong one there. I gotta see it. 27. Yeah, mine does say center. Straight up. Interesting. All right.
Why it's not even
over there for you?
An abbreviation of center.
That's weird. What are you reading it on?
It's like Google Play Books or whatever. Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway. Bum, bum, bum.
All right. Bum, bum, bum. And then, so, this is not looking good. All right. About to, they're awaiting their death, which is sobering. We've all been there. And then an old man came to their cell. I love an old man in this book. You never know what you're going to get. They've been good. They've been bad. What are we going to get now? And they see this old man. He walks up to the cell. They plead with him to let them out. Let me out. We're children. But he's all calm. He's a cucumber, dude. And he's like, you don't remember me? And it's correct. They don't. He's like, you don't remember me? You don't remember me? And they're like, no. He's like, well, okay, well, shit. Well, you will remember me soon. And they're like, well, we don't have a lot of soon left, so what's going on? Now, he's a gentle guy, gentle old man, kind. Unlike this executioner guy they've been running.
Yeah, that guy's a dick.
That guy's a huge cunt. Whoa. And the old man calls them. He tells them, he goes, Edward and Susanna. And Sue corrects him. She's like, I'm Sue, okay? My name's Sue. And Eddie's like, yeah, and I'm Eddie. I'm not Edward. And he's like, all right. He rolls his eyes. He's like, check your fucking birth certificates. I don't know what to tell you. And then he says, my name is... let's try to do British again. Let's try one more time. Good day there, mate. My name's Morgan. I'm the king sorcerer. God damn it.
Sorry. Got me.
I'm Morgan. I'm Morgan, the king sorcerer. And Eddie asks him, he's like, king sorcerer? You do magic tricks or something? And Morgan's like, tricks? What are you talking about? Tricks, you little shit. That exchange didn't mean anything, but it made me laugh. And then right here, I'm going to read here, page 114 here. Let me go. It says, did you order us locked up in here? Talking to Morgred here. Is he the one that's doing all this? Did you order us locked up in here? Did you have us brought back in time? Why? Why have you done this? And he's like, oh, it isn't an easy story to tell, Susanna, Morgred replied. You and Edward have to believe. Stop calling me Susanna, I shouted. I'm not Edward, my brother insisted. I'm Eddie. Everyone calls me Eddie. The old man removed his hands from his robe, probably rolling his eyes really hard at the kids. Removes his hands from his robe pockets, and he places one hand on Eddie's shoulders and one on mine. On Eddie's shoulder and one on mine. I had better start with the biggest surprise of all, he told us. You are not Eddie and Sue, and you do not live in the 20th century. Huh? What are you saying? I cried. You really are Edward and Susanna, Morgred replied. You are the Prince and Princess of York, and you have been ordered to the tower by your uncle, the king. Bum, bum, bum.
So the kids don't believe him, obviously. Don't believe the first thing an old man tells you when he bumps into you. Morgred is just like, hey, I expected you guys not to believe me. I love how he hides the part about him fucking wiping their memories until the end of his explanation, too, by the way. Spoilers. But like he's just like, guys, I helped you escape. I cast a spell. You're like, woo! But not to escape the tower, but to escape your fates. Sue remembers the story about children being smothered by pillows, which is real fucked up. Once again, I want you to imagine this scene of just the high executioner going in there with his smothering pillow and just holding it down over a child's face as it struggles and claws at his hands with its tiny little hand. So Sue remembers at this point the story about the children being smothered in the tower, and she's like, that's real fucked up. I hope that's not our fate. So let's hear more from Sue about not wanting to be pillow smothered. But we're not them, I wailed. But we're not them, I wailed. You're just confused. Maybe Eddie and I look like them. Maybe we look a lot like them. But we're not the prince and princess. We're two kids from the 21st century. Morgred shook his head solemnly. I cast a spell, he explained. I erased your memories. You were locked in this tower. I wanted you to escape, but I wished you away to the safety of the abbey. Then I sent you as far into the future as I could, 1994. It's not true, Eddie insisted, shrieking the words. It's not true, not true. I'm Eddie, not Edward. My name is Eddie. That's shrieking, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Morgred sighed again. Just Eddie? He asked, keeping his voice low and soft. What is your full name, Eddie? Well, my brother stammered. Eddie and I don't know our last name, I realized, and we don't know where we live. When I sent you far into the future, I decided to fuck with you a little bit, and I gave you new memories, Morgred said. I gave you new memories so you could survive in a new and distant time. But the memories were, not complete. That's why we couldn't remember our parents, I exclaimed to Eddie. He's a shitty wizard. But our parents, I started. Your parents, the rightful king and queen, are dead, Morgred told us. Your uncle has named himself king, and he's ordered you to the tower to get you out of the way. That's a euphemism for smothering. He's going to have us murdered? I stammered. Morgred nodded, shutting his eyes. Yes, with pillows. I'm afraid he is. Smothering. His men will be here soon, with their pillows, one in each hand. There's no way I can stop him or his pillows. Now, bum, bum. Well, I guess it'd be more like a foof, foof, foof. Like a...
More of a pillow impact?
Yeah, like a...
Poof. Right. I follow you. Some of what Dylan said there was in the book, and...
there was some interpretation.
Yeah, he did something. So I guess maybe to recap that, he saved them from their fate by sending them forward in time and wiping their memories, hoping that they could just exist. I'm not real clear how long they've been. Like, had they only been fast forwarded to their future for less than a day? And
yeah, because
they had just gone on to...
I think the moment they're in the hotel and they're like, oh, we're going to go join this tour group is when they were thrown into the future. Because remember, the Barclay Hotel is the Abbey in the future. So he teleported them future from the Abbey. They showed up in the hotel with these memories and they're just like, tour group. Like, I feel like that's as quick as it was. Like, we joined the book as they joined the present.
Okay, got you.
Because
I like that.
They don't remember anything from before that day. So I think we joined 1994 the same time the kids did.
Yeah, interesting. So, Morgred, after he tells them, sorry, can't help you because you're going to be murdered soon. He admits that he's a little sad to tell them this, explains how they have been brought back here. And the executioner, Morgan's like, okay, the executioner must have spied on me, knew the 3 stones were part of the spell, snuck, took the stones, went to the future, and brought you back. All right? And that was bad, because now you're not safe anymore, because now you're here in the cell. And he put a hand on their foreheads and returned their memories to the olden days. So now they can just kind of remember being from now. And Sue is now Susanna, Princess of York, and Edward the Prince. And so they've restored their memories to their quote-unquote current time, which happens to be hundreds of years ago. And then they're like, oh, Morgan, we got a great idea. What if you sent us to the future again? How about that? And then that would save us again. That'd be great, because you did it already once, and we kind of fucked up and came into this time loop. We won't do that again. Why don't you just send us back to the future? Well, it'll be good. And he's like, I cannot. The stones were actually taken by the Lord High Executioner. So if you remember me telling you that part. So I don't have them. And then Eddie smiles, that little mischievous rascal. He smiles, and then he hands the stones over to Mordred. And he's like, fastest hands in all of Britannia. Because he had stolen these stones.
Now they have British accents, too. Everyone's got British accents.
Fair point, Dylan. Thank you very much. Fastest hands in all of Britannia there, mate. And then he still had stolen them when Lord High Executioner there had captured him in town. So he went to scoop up Eddie, and Eddie, fast thinking, took those rocks out of his pocket. And Eddie kind of saves the day here, but I'm going to read a little bit. Don't worry. I'm going to read a little bit. So, Edward hands the stones over to Morgred. Morgred, at this point, he does not smile. He says, it is a simple spell, actually, the wizard said. He raised the 3 stones into the air, and they began to glow. I pile the stones up, one on top of the other, Morgred explained. I wait for them to glow with a bright white heat. Then I pronounce the words, Movarum, Levaris, Movaris. I then call out to the year to which the traveler is to be sent. That's the whole spell? Oh, I'm sorry. That's the whole spell? Edward asked, staring at the smooth glowing stones in Morgred's hand. Morgred nodded. That's the spell there, young chap, Prince Edward. Well, do it again. Please hurry, I begged him. His expression grew even sadder. I cannot, he said, his voice breaking with emotion. I cannot. He returned the 3 stones to the pocket of his robe, then he uttered a long, unhappy sigh. Ha, 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 ha. It is my fondest wish.
Is that what a long, unhappy
ha, yeah. Yeah. It is my fondest wish to help you children. But if I help you escape again, the king will torture me and put me into a painful death, and then I will not be able to use my magic to help all the people in Britain. Tears brimmed at his purple eyes. He had purple eyes, and they ran down his wrinkled cheeks. He gazed unhappily at my brother and me. I only hope that you enjoyed your brief time in the future, he said in a whisper and strange accent. I shuddered. You really cannot help us, I pleaded. I cannot, he replied, lowering his eyes to the floor. Even if we ordered you? Edward asked. Even if you ordered me, Morgood repeated. With an emotional cry, he wrapped Edward in a hug. Then he turned and hugged me too. I am helpless, he whispered. I beg your forgiveness, but I am helpless. How long do we have to leave? I asked in a tiny trembling voice. Oh, perhaps a few hours, Morgood replied, avoiding my eyes. He turned away. He could not bear to face us after giving those children a death sentence. And then Mordred just leaves. He leaves. He walks away, and after he leaves, the kids, they're torn up, poor Sue shivering, Eddie sobbing, and they happen to clear their eyes a minute, and they look up, and then Prince Edward, realizes that Mordred left the door unlocked, and they fucking book it. Bum, bum, bum.
They jump for the fucking door and then freeze in time? Which is pretty cool that they've got this. Oh, they didn't do it. Mordred cast a spell to stop him from escaping. He's like, hey, can't let you fucking go. So I'm going to lock the door now. And he cries a little bit. Then he locks up. Then he leaves. But then, good news, Travis.
Oh, yeah.
You hear footsteps outside, and they're like, I bet you Mordred came back. He's going to let us out now. Nope. It's the Lord High Executioner
No good.
and his man. And guess what? They've all got pillows.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, dude. They're all those nice, thick Serta pillows that fucking just slap. It's getting tense, all right? The men are here to kill the kids. But Edward, he produces the 3 stones, all right? He had, that crafty bastard. I tell you, he's a little rapscallion. He had stolen them from Morgred when he hugged him just a second ago. He just has to remember the spell. And Edward stacked those stones up, like he's supposed to do, one on top of the other. Does that incantation. We all know it. It's Mavarum Lavaris Mavaris. And then, as the door to the cell is opening and those men are rushing in to grab these children, there's a flash of light. And then nothing. And then the cell door just swings all the way open. And it appears as though they're still in the tower. Did it work? Uh-oh. Bum, bum, bum.
Chapter 33. 33, motherfucker. I actually looked it up. The longest Goosebumps book by page count is Night of the Living Dummy 3.
Oh,
which clocks in at 144 pages.
Really? That is girthy. Jeez.
A Night in Terror Tower, by comparison, clocks in at 129. So
that's pretty big distinction.
We got a monster out there in the ocean. But let's get back to this. They're still in the tower. They're freaking out. But door opens up, and guess what? It's a new tour guide who can't count or anything, and she's just like, I got 2 new people in my tour group. I guess whatever the fuck, because I'm going to tell everybody about Terror Town. So whatever, we got fucking people died here. Everything sucks. Whatever. You don't like the British. I don't like the British. Fuck the tea into the harbor. But Sue, she's just like, hey, whatever happened to them little prince and princesses that were in here? Did they escape? And the tour guide's like, well, these 2 little royal brats, we fucking hate royalty in Boston. Yeah. Tea in the harbor. We fucking hate royalty. Those 2 little royal brats, they's put in the tower to be beheaded. Gonna lose their heads. But then they disappear. No one knows what fucking happened to them. It's a fucking mystery. Fucking British can't even keep track of the fucking kids or whatever shit. Ugh. Sue and Ed here just like, well, cool. I guess that means we win this time. Although we never got confirmation that they changed things because we never heard Stark's version of the past at the beginning of the book. But moving on.
Yeah, true.
looks like history's just like, yep, them little kids just ran away, much like the little princes in Real World that we talked about at the beginning of this episode disappeared without a trace, except they probably disappeared at the bottom of a bog with their throats slit. Anyway, they look over to Mordred, who's also with them now. I think he's wearing like sweats, a hoodie, got 2 hot dogs in each hand. He's kind of dressed like Aladdin's The Genie, where he's just like, he's digging being in modern times all the time now. And he's super happy. And he's just like, thanks for bringing me with you. Because like, I appreciate you not leaving me back in the past to be brutally tortured. I wish I'd thought of that. And also thought not to wipe your memories and a bunch of other thing. But now they're all the Morgans. He's their, what is it, their uncle or some shit? He's not their dad. I don't think he's pretending to be their dad. Whatever. He's Mr. Morgan. They're Eddie and Sue Morgan. And everyone's so happy. And Eddie's just like, you're welcome for me stealing from you again. And Mr. Morgan, a.k.a. the Wizard, says, yeah, it's a good thing you did because you would have been dead. And they all share a hearty laugh about that. And the kids are hungry. And so Mordred is just like, hey, I can whip up some stuffed hummingbirds for you, a la magic. And the kids are like, you know what? How about we just get some good old American fries and a Coke in England? Ugh. Bum, bum, bum.
We did it. No fish and chips from these young lads and lasses. But that's how we tie her up there. A rare happy ending. That's actually a trivia.
There's no twist.
That's a trivia bit. Yeah, it's also one of the few books that have a happy ending.
They had 33 chapters. Like, this was a fucking epic. Like, epic. Do you see that I curled my hair wrong?
Dude, and the fact, I need to paint a picture. I need to paint a picture real quick for the folks at home. Dylan has found curlers and has put them into his hair, and they look awesome. They look so cool. His hair looks fucking awesome right now.
A housewife from 1955, and I'm very excited. I didn't think it would be that easy to just like pop them in, and I've just got curlers. I don't even need curlers. Awesome. My they're not going to make my hair any. Look how big they are. But my hair's already.
They're so big. Yeah, that's fun. It's fun times over there. I really like this book, and I did look it up really quick, and I noticed that from Say Cheese and Die through Welcome to Camp Nightmare, so books 4 through 9, the page counts were all in the 130s. And it's been a while. So we went to 129 tonight. It's been a while since we've gotten that high. The last book that would have eclipsed that for us would have been book number 9, Welcome to Camp Nightmare. So since then, yeah, since book 10, we've gotten spoiled on some shorter runs, and they stay pretty short for a while.
I did not feel these 11 extra pages that are in Tower Terror.
No, I liked this book. It did a few things that we hadn't done in a while, which is I don't even know if that's a good way to put it, but I don't know. It didn't have a singular threat like some of the ones that we've read lately have kind of a predictable ending, or they don't have a scary vibe. It's more of like a stressful situation and not like a harrowing situation.
Yeah.
This is kind of back to like classic
or a sad situation. Like the last book was more depressing than anything, with the people are like, we can't have children. Maybe this last dish. Because again, you have to think that these are like people desperate for kids, because like if their bet for children is the guy who turns dogs into kids, probably not great for them. So even worse that they're like, oh, I turned back into a dog.
Right. And this one is just a time travel adventure where he does a really good job of not giving away the ending, or even sort of the time travel, like any of the mode of anything. He really does a really good job of keeping you goosebumping along until the very, very end. I loved this book for that reason. At no point at a cliffhanger could I have guessed how that all tied together. I mean, maybe if you gave me enough time. I tried not to. I want to have a little bit of a surprise at the end, but sometimes you can connect the dots. But this was one where I was like, there's a lot going on. Like you said, we're in chapter 23. We got no answers. We're asking more questions.
Yeah. Because it's even when they get sent back into time, and then you're like, okay, the fuck? Because at that point, you're probably, I guess you might be like, so are they the king, the prince and princess, and got sent forward? But what the fuck what's with the rocks?
The rocks were weird.
But yeah, if I could rate this, Travis, if you could fucking let me rate a book for
please,
fucking
come on.
once. Okay, I would give this, I'm not even ready yet. You go.
I'm going to give it 6 pocket rocks out of 7 pocket rocks. I think I don't know that it's quite legendary status. I don't know if I've just been hankering for one that's good for a while that I'm over buying, but it's been one of my favorites since season 1. I mean, this is almost this is almost a Say Cheese and Die / Night of the Living Dummy, Welcome to Camp Nightmare tier of book for me. I thought this was a really fun one.
We'll talk about this at the end of the season, obviously, but I'm very interested to see what we'll both think of this series of books, because I think you and I have different opinions.
Sure,
about
that
the
makes
overall,
a good podcast.
But we'll get there. All right,
this might be the season that we're most separated on. This might be the one where we're most divided.
But I will give this one 5.5 out of 8 disappeared historical children. Like, I feel like this is solid. Like, for the most part, every book has been a pretty different experience this season, this batch of 10.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying the series of rides we've been going on in terms of just like, what the fuck is going to happen now? I don't know what's next. I'm very excited to figure out what that is. I'm with the audience, but I've been enjoying the string of books that we've been on. Basically, since we put Return in our rearview mirror, I think I've been having a good time.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Oh, God damn, that book is terrible. And we said as much. You gave it a 0. That was our first 0 to date.
Because it was the same. It was the exact same problems we had the first book, and didn't add anything better or new or anything fix it or so it's just like, oh good, we get to do this twice. Oh.
Yeah. God, I hated it. I don't know why that. That was lazy. That was the ghostwriter just picking up slack.
Probably.
But no, I thought this one was actually really fun. I really liked it. Not what I expected at all from the beginning or to the end. Judging by the cover, didn't know how this was going to go. Was pleasantly surprised.
Judging by the cover, I'd be more willing to believe it was like animatronic things go wrong at Terror Tower. But I'm pretty sure Shocker on Shock Street is animatronic horrors gone wrong. But I'm not too sure about that. We'll have to back that up.
Hey, we'll get there. All right. Well, let's see if we can squeeze any more trivia out. We've already let a few go here. There was one bit of trivia I thought was kind of interesting. According to R.L. Stine, early drafts of this book feature many more scenes where the protagonists were running away. Stine's editors thought that was boring and that the characters should occasionally stop to catch their breath. As a result, Stine reworked the book to feature less running. I thought that was interesting. Let's see. Already went over the Jacobus hates the cover, but says we should love it. And this is one of the few Goosebumps books where the book's twist does not occur in the final chapter. It kind of occurs way earlier. The kids don't get it. Yeah. But we see it like in the middle.
These are probably the least interesting children we've had in a while because there's nothing about them. It's almost like, yeah, for a longer Goosebumps book, I feel like the kids stay pretty like me. Where there's other books where like
it's interesting,
the kids have definite personalities and individuals and stuff. But
that's a really good point. I mean, the only real character features they have is Eddie's a little whiny and Sue is pretty good about keeping him in check. And Eddie's a bit of a klepto. Yeah. But outside of that, yeah, you're right. They're kind of playing. We don't get a ton of descriptions about what they're wearing at any given second, so missed that. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. So I think we're both pretty positive on it. Thought it was pretty fun. That's going to do it. You can email the show We got goosebumpspodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to reach out, let us know what your favorite Goosebumps book is. Let us know how what you thought of any of the episodes here. We'd like to hear that. You can find the show on Twitter at SayCheeseAndPod. Which reminds me, we should tweet out the latest episode. We're recording while we put things out now. We've finally caught up with ourselves. You can also support the show, the whole network of shows over on Patreon. Patreon.com/Polykill. You can find a network of shows that might interest you over there. We do video games over here. We got a couple movie podcasts. We've got
we just recorded the latest Split Up that's going to come out this month. It's about horror movies that take place in schools. So Mook and I just talked about The Faculty, which stars a disgusting number of actors from that time period, including Jon Stewart, Josh Hartnett, Clea Duvall, Bebe Neuwirth. I love Bebe Neuwirth.
Well, Dylan, I think we might have some more time travel in our future. See what I did there? What do we got coming up next episode?
Tara the Terrible. That's what Michael Webster calls his bratty little sister. She loves getting Michael in trouble, making his life miserable. Things couldn't get any worse. Then Mr. Webster brings home the antique cuckoo clock. It's old, it's expensive, and Mr. Webster won't let anyone touch it. Poor Michael. He should have listened to his dad, because someone put a spell on the clock. Strange spell, a dangerous spell. And now Michael's life will never be the same again.